All right, hey everyone, thanks for joining. We'll take a couple minutes here just to wait till a few more people join on. I know some people are just loading up the URL.
Hello everyone. Okay, so this mentorship session is meant to answer as much question as possible and also as much relevant question as possible. So the way we will process is you, for those of you who have something to ask, go into the question and answer box and ask your question. Please provide as much details as possible. We might ask you to share your screen to go through the issue.
Yeah, and you can also raise your hand if you just want to say a comment, and we can unmute you and let you ask a question that way as well. So this is really just your chance. We've got Seb, Albert, and Austin, the dev mentors on here. So a lot of experience to gain from. So anything you want to ask.
All right, Robbie.
Hi, so I had a question about, so on our last lecture, we were talking about variables and how to interact with them through functions. And in the syntax, I noticed one slight, I guess, a difference between functions. So when we used a query function, I noticed we included the type after async, and it would return a value. But when we used a function like to get the value, or I'm sorry, to change the value of something, the type wasn't included after async. So when is it necessarily appropriate to include the type?
Oh, I guess I'll answer that since I did that lecture. So, well, this is typically just programming practice. So when it's, well, actually you can return it, but no, the reason why I did that was just because I wanted to show that one wasn't returning and I wanted to change it, but here, wait, let me, it says, will this allow me to share screen? Maybe I could just show you, it might be easier.
If you can't share your screen, let us know. Seb might need to make you the host.
Oh, all right. Well, that's fine. I mean, basically the answer is I could have put a return type after changing it. I just didn't want to return because how I typically program if I want to change something. Well, I'll usually just print a statement if it's like in another language, but yeah, you can, I could put a type right after.
And so you could, if you wanted to, not only change the value, but return that value to you as well?
Absolutely, yes. You could, actually, yeah, you could like put a flag like, oh, return, like, hey, it finished, or hey, it changed. Yeah, so you can.
Okay, cool, thanks.
No problem.
Hello. So I have a question about, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kyle's invoice canister. I'm trying to integrate it on a personal project, and I'm getting a very weird error because it's not letting me deploy the ledger canister because the WebAssembly file is bigger than 2 megabytes. So I don't know if there's a fix for that. I don't know if it's a limit that I cannot break. I really want to help with that.
I can answer that one, and I will try to post a forum link. Apparently in 9.2, the ledger canister is supposed to be smaller than 2 megabytes. So that is answer number one. Answer number two is pretty interesting, and it will help you understand something about the internet computer. And I'll just talk about it for a little bit here. I'm on a phone, so I can't show a whole lot, but there is a 2 megabyte limit to make calls into the internet computer. In between canisters, there is a 5 megabyte limit. So what that means is if you need to get, when you deploy a WASM file, you're sending it to the governance canister and the system canister and telling it, hey, go deploy this WASM. So the max file size is 5, but to get 5 in there, you have to do something interesting. And we actually have a solution, and I'm trying to get it open sourced, but I haven't been able to do it just yet. Basically, we created a canister where you upload the WASM into chunks, in 2 megabyte chunks, and append them together. And then you make the call from that canister with the bytes, the WASM bytes, to the system canister and pass it that way. That's how we had to deploy the origin ledger. But I'm hoping, and I'll find it here in just a second. It was actually a recent one that so one of the folks from Definity said that it should be fixed, and you should be able to get a local ledger installed that is less than 2 megabytes. Let me find it.
Perfect. And I will find that ledger on the GitHub repo, because I think Kyle maybe forgot to, push the changes.
I'm going to put it in the general chat.
Perfect. Thank you a lot.
It's very convenient to have your own ledger deployed locally.
Yeah. I tried to, work around it, using wrapped ICP, but I couldn't figure out like to integrate the wrapped ICP on the Kyle's, invoice canister design. So I was kind of stuck.
So we've got a question from Gwenthel on the Q&A feature asking for us to explain what canister is a little bit more, I guess, fundamentally. And then it also looks on the chat like ICP Jesse says that there's a group of beginners who are looking for help specifically with challenge number 4. So why don't one of you give a good explanation of canister? And then Seb, I don't know, maybe if you want to try some like sharing your screen and we could even work through number 4 a little bit or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, sure. So I can try to explain what is a canister. So basically, the first thing you can think about is it's an application. So for example, if you are using, I don't know, Discover, the website, there is like a place where the messages are stored. There is a place where when you post a comment, the comment is stored. There is a place where all your informations as user, your user profile is stored. That's basically the canister. It's a piece of code with some properties, some variables that you can change through functions. That's what was explained in the previous lecture. You have a bunch of properties. So for example, like numbers of messages, numbers of points, last comment, a bunch of properties, and you can update those properties through function calls. And those function calls, they are happening when you are interacting with the website. If you are familiar with Ethereum, it's quite like a smart contract where you have like functions that you can call and it do things when you call the functions. Also, a canister is, I don't think that's going to help you a lot, but that's a WebAssembly module with some memory. It's a container. You think of it as a container that contains like properties and you can change it. Yeah, sometimes applications use multiple canisters, sometimes not. You can store images inside a canister. It's basically everything that there is on the internet computer. The internet computer is just a bunch of canisters talking to each other. And a canister is, I won't go into too much details, but basically it exists because of the internet computer protocol. And there will be, the next lecture is probably going to explain how you go from like a bunch of data servers to having a canister. Does it answer your question? And also an actor in Motoko is exactly the same as a canister. Like you can mix the two concepts in your head. It's quite the same. The actor is just the representation of the canister for Motoko. All right, that was a tough one, but I think it's okay. So what is the next question? I think I will let someone speak. So Ka, you can speak.
Oh, hey, that's me. So I was watching your video earlier and I'm trying to follow along and I can't even get past, hold on, let me pull it back up. Let me see. So I'm looking, our daily challenge is the daily guide day 1, correct? And we're supposed to create this.
Yeah, correct.
All right, so I can't even get past, I do prerequisites, check the version, DFX, new day 1, move over there. And then once I get, CD day 1, then I do DFX start in the terminal. And then I'm not sure if I'm getting an error or what happens, but after I do the DFX start, I can no longer, enter anything into the terminal that like.
Okay, yeah, I got it. So when you run DFX start, when you execute the command, it starts a replica. It's a copy of the internet computer, right? It's like a simplified version on your computer. So you can play with it, deploy canisters on it, and basically test what you're doing. When the terminal is running, it's taking it's taking one tab. Basically, you cannot do anything in this tab. You need to open a new one, and that's where you can deploy your canister, interact with it, and do all the other stuff. So just you should have like a plus button. You can just go and click on the button, and you will have a new tab.
Okay, so open a new tab with that one running, and then inside. So then I can do the DFX create hello in this new tab.
Yeah, you can.
And you can also do dash background at the end of the command, and it just runs in the background. But that's dangerous because then you might forget which terminal you have it running in. I think that's happened to me before, but I tend to do that.
And then, okay, so I tried that new tab. I don't know if it's because I typed all this. Okay, I'll play around with it, and then I'll pop back on if I have any questions while y'all are still here.
I'd suggest leaving a window open with it running, because then you can see the debug statements. You'll eventually want to put debug statements in your code, and they get output to that window. And it's sometimes nice to have that, sort of sitting there available for you to go back and look at.
Okay, and yeah, I was wondering if that's the reason it wasn't connecting to that Visual Studio Code the correct way, is because I wasn't in a new tab with a new DFX. Okay,
I think. Yeah. I think that wasn't related, but we will let you play and.
Yeah, I'll play around with it and I'll pop back on. Thank you.
You have any.
All right, cool. Bye.
All right. So I don't know if I see all the questions. I see I have the Q&A. I have the general chat and the raise your hand. So I'm probably missing some question. So Jared, it's your turn.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. My question is about importing files. So, for example, on the last daily challenge for today. There's you're supposed to remove an item from the list or something like that. And so I wanted to use the list library that comes in the base Motoko library. I wanted to use the list module, and I was just having a really hard time implementing it in the method in the query. I was getting errors. I guess I just didn't really know how to do it at all. So I was wondering if you could like show an implementation of that module in an actor method.
Yeah. So it's the last the challenge number 10, right?
Right. I was just going to like take a list, an empty list, and then append to it as I found values that were not the value you're trying to exclude.
Yeah, okay. So for that I need to share my screen. Yeah, I have only one screen right now and already all the Q&A and everything. If someone wants to share a screen, I could do it later, maybe in the Discord after this meeting. But right now it's a bit complicated. I cannot do it right now.
Austin, do you have two screens, or maybe Albert, or even someone asking the question? Just that's kind of what this mentorship session is for. We need to bring something up on screen.
Yeah. Problem is that right now I have a really
stupid I have
what would you like for me to show? Or if somebody else has their screen up, that's better, because I'd have to log on my computer. But
I guess share your code, maybe.
So you guys, do you want to do it, Albert?
Yeah. I could walk them through it.
Okay, cool.
Will you guys does it let me share my screen? It's still disabled. I don't know.
Let me see.
Yeah, let me authorize you. Does it work?
Let me see. No, it's still not letting me share screen. It says host disabled attendee screen share.
Here for now, Seb, just make him here. I'll just do it real quick. I'll just make him a host. It's fine.
Yeah, that's it's done. Your host, Albert, you can share your screen.
Okay, let me try.
And now you are. I was trying to do something at the same time. So now you're host.
Alright.
Awesome.
Let's see. So I haven't personally looked at the challenge. What was challenge 10? Or challenge 9 or?
Oh, sorry, it was actually challenge 9 that I was trying to use the list module on.
Okay.
I mean, we could do any problem really. It's just trying to implement that module I was having trouble with.
Okay, so you try to use the list.
I think you should use an array first, because the challenges specify an array. But that's.
I mean, what do you know? You're just the guy who wrote them.
Yeah, so I guess we walk it through. Let's see. It says write a remove from array function, or write a function that takes two parameters, an array of natural numbers and a natural number n. So it takes takes two parameters. It returns a new array where all occurrences of n have been removed. Oh, okay. So let's see. Well, I'll just go to my old. Okay. So first we have to import the array. Then let's see, we'll create a function that takes we're gonna need what? We're gonna need remove.
I think there's a filter function that would work.
Yeah, there is several way to do it. You can use like a loop with array append and array filter as well. But I think your question was like you are not the syntax. You struggle with the syntax of array.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because
I mean, the whole logic of how to do the problem I understand, but just the syntax of using the module and having the correct types is kind of strange.
Okay, I think have you already imported the array module?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so the specificity of the functions in the array library is that each function depends on the type you want to pass into the function. So you have those generic type. It's called the generic type, the AB, and you need to specify the type that you are going to use for this function. So let's say you have an array of nat. You want to use the filter function. You need to use the filter nat function. So it would be easier if I could share my screen. I'm sorry. You would write something like array.append nat and then the parameters. Is it clear? There is resources on that that I will share as soon as possible. And yeah, I'm really sorry about not being able to share my screen. Maybe, yeah.
So, okay, so when the element that you're passing, so I'm passing in an array of natural numbers to the method. And the type that I pass in for that, do I need to specify that it's, do I need to use the array module to declare the type, or do I just do an array of natural numbers, or without using the module, if you know what I mean? You know, just natural number surrounded by brackets.
Yeah, that's how you define an array of nat. It's nat in a bracket.
Oh, nut. That's what you mean when you say nut.
Nut, yeah.
Like NUT.
NUT, nut,
Is that what you're
NAT.
saying?
Yeah, I'm saying. Okay. I think I need to share my screen. Let me just 5 minutes. Can we maybe have another question? And I'm going to fix my issue so I can share my screen.
I think.
Yes, sorry.
I think he's talking about natural numbers. A nat.
Yeah, I was talking about nat. Yeah, I cannot share my screen right now. I need the authorization to do so.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So yeah.
Yeah, it's working. Okay, so let me just go here. So what I was trying to say is that, so first you need to import the array module like that. That's the syntax to import it. Then you need to go to Motoko base module array. Oh, that's annoying. That's also annoying. Here, so yeah, let me dezoom. So you have all the functions. So let's say we want to use the equal function. We have this generic type. And this type actually is the type of what's inside the array. So let's say we have like an array like that of type nat, which is like 1, 2, 3. We want to use array equal. So I'm not solving the challenge for you, but I'm just showing the syntax for array. I don't know if the person can still talk or not. I don't think so.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So am I answering your question? Like,
yeah, so I understand that part. So if you were, let's say you're in an actor and you've got a function.
Okay.
And so I'm passing like a list of natural numbers into the function.
Yeah.
Right, and so the type I'm passing in will just be like natural number in brackets. And then do I have to convert it to an array, or how would you do that?
No, you would do it like that. So you have like, so I'm going to create a function that returns true if the two arrays are equal and false if they are not. It's useless, but it's just to show you. So you need to write like the parameters like that. So that's an array of type nat. That's an array of type nat as well. If you want to make the function more generic, I would say you can also do that, but that's like more advanced. So that was not like in the first challenges. You can do that. So if you do that, this function will be really useful because you can use it with an array of nat, you can use it with an array of text, with an array of float, with whatever you want inside the array. So it's more generic, you know. But if you just want nat, you would do it like that. And then to use like the functions of the array module, you would do something like that. So array dot equal. We need to specify. So this function is exactly what I was saying. It's a generic function. Like you need to specify the type. Sorry. So you're going to use it on nat, and then you just put the arguments. So it's array 1, array 2, and it's nat dot equal. Yeah. You need to import nat as well because you need the nat dot equal function. So that's how you would test if two arrays are equal. Like my function is really useless because I could just use this one, but it was to show you the syntax. Does it answer your question? Or do you have more question?
Yeah, do you think you do one more example really quick of this? So say you're adding elements to an array. Like is there an append method on the module?
Yeah, there is an append method. It's just here.
Right. So let's say you want to append like n numbers onto your array and then return that array. What would you put as your return value? And do you think you could just walk through that quickly?
So do we want to do something like add n to array. Like we have an array of type maybe nuts again, and we have n of type nuts, and we want to return a new array with, oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying.
Okay, so you would do it using array.happen for sure. I'm going to describe the steps. You don't need to write that much, but I'm going to create a new array, just to be clear. And this array is array.happen, not array with, yeah, like that. So what I'm doing here, array.happen is a method that takes two array, so one here, and returns another array. That is basically the concatenation of the two array. So I'm pushing the result into a new variable, and then I just return this variable. And you will notice that I've used the array here, and I've just put n into brackets to like create a new array from n. And yeah, that's it.
All right, do you have to specify the type of new array when you declare it?
The type, this one?
On the variable new array.
Oh, I could do it. Yeah, I would recommend. That's what I've recommended to people to do, but I'm not doing it. You could do it like that, but
okay, so that just converts to a list of natural numbers.
No, that doesn't convert anything. Actually, this part is useless. You can remove it. It's just some syntax for me, like to remember that this variable is a list of nuts. But Motoko will know it because array.happen again is a method that takes two array, this one, and returns a new array. So here you return a new array, and it's immediately assigned to this variable. So this variable is of type, it's of type, sorry. New array is of type nut, like that. Because
okay, that makes
sense. Yeah. But you can also like specify, but it's just for being more detailed, I guess.
Yeah, that definitely answers my question. Thanks.
Okay, so
Hi, did you mean to unmute me?
Hello, guys. Thank you for your time. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. So I think I would speak for a good chunk of beginners when I say this, but a lot of people didn't seem to understand the lecture that Albert gave, the basic usage of Motoko. So I think I have a couple of questions regarding that. First one is, do we have to go over the documentation and over the slides again to completely absorb and understand them before working on the challenges? Or should we just, as we are working on the challenges, if we come across something that we don't understand, maybe we look for it in the documentation? That's my first question. Second one is there a deadline for the daily challenges, just so we know how much time we have to work on them, because of the time zone differences between us. So, we should like be able to schedule our sleep and that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a difference I mean, there's a deadline. It's Monday at, I want to say 7 CST. It's on the calendar. So it's a calendar item there. And it's also explained in the README file. We're looking for a commit, and not that you get everything right, but that you attempt to solve by committing something to a public repo before the solutions are made public. The solutions will be made public after that deadline. So that'll help. But so it's the practice of you going through and trying to figure out the answers and then seeing what the answers that look like. That'll be really helpful. And yeah, I mean, I would recommend if there's a word that you don't really fully understand, like concepts, like array, and stuff like that. I mean, look at the documentation, and also just Google it. There's because these concepts are, basic to all different types of languages. Just JavaScript, you work with arrays, all if there's a word that you don't understand, definitely search out the answer for it, and it'll start to make sense. It just takes banging your head against the wall a few times.
All right, thank you.
Hey, you got me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. That screen that Seb was just on, I would like to know, and I can wait and rewatch the videos later once you post them, but how to get to it. I did the in the terminal again. I did what I was supposed to do, and now when I do the DFX start, it says the queue is full, so nothing comes up anymore. So I really just want to get to where that main.mo, now that I have the visual code.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think you need to share your screen so we can guide you through the steps. That will be easier.
Yeah, all right, that's fine.
That's also like the purpose of those mentorship sessions.
Okay, cool. How do I do that?
Just for everyone else, I've seen that people are beginners are stuck at challenge 4, which is normal because it's it's one level more advanced than challenge 1 to 3. I will try to explain it after that.
All right, so this is also our first time having an attendee share the screen. So who's talking here? Is this Kay?
Yeah, that's me.
All right, give me a second. I'm gonna have to make you the host so that you can have permission to share your screen. So one second here. All right. You might have to rejoin. You should get a notification and you have to kind of rejoin the meeting. All right, Kay, you should be able to see a green share button in the bottom center of your screen, of your Zoom window now.
All right, let me, I gotta give it access real quick.
It's you. You were an attendee and now you're just hosting the whole thing.
Yeah, look at that. Still can't even get past the intro. Let me see. All right, let's see. Okay, you got it?
Yeah, we can see it. Perfect.
Okay, all right. I don't know what to click there. Okay, so let's see. Are you still there?
Yeah, we're all following along.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, this is what just happened right there. I can go ahead and get rid of that. We can start from the beginning. But let's see. All right, so here we are just at the beginning. That's where I'm trying to do this daily guide, day one, prerequisites here. So y'all want me to go ahead and just follow this until you see what happens where I get?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so there's a version. I'm assuming that's correct. And I already have that, so I'm just gonna skip and go to C. And then we're in the day one tab up there. And then here we go with the DFX start. Any ideas why that happens?
Maybe someone else can jump. I'm not sure. It's a bit strange, but you should update your DFX first.
Okay.
The latest version is 0.9.2.
Okay.
So maybe that will fix the problem. I don't know about this queue that is full. I'm not sure if someone knows.
You may be okay. Sometimes the replica will just like spit out a bunch of information. It says that it's listening, so I would just try it. When I get these things, sometimes I get like these look at like not fresh, and they may have fixed some of this in the latest DFX, but basically your clock gets out of sync, or your computer went to sleep and it comes back online and it's like we missed this time, and it starts freaking out. You can mostly ignore those with the local replica. They get better if you DFX start -- clean, or just blow away your DFX directory and start over.
Okay, so what should I type in?
You can do DFX start -- clean, CLEAN. That's going to delete everything on your replica.
See, this one does. Once it gets into this screen here.
Well, yeah. It's running now, so you can't type it in there. You need a new you need a new terminal window in that same directory.
Oh, you can go to the replica and just
or you can hit control C.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right
control
here?
C will stop it. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, now don't try it.
Try which one?
DFX start -- clean.
Yeah, and like me personally with Visual Studio and WSL too, I always have to like reset my clock. It's super annoying, and it just started happening recently. I mean, there's little gimmicks like that sometimes.
So how's that look?
Yeah, it looks good.
And then okay, so the connection to that DFX create hello in that main.mo file, I'd like to use what you were using. And I guess what I'm understanding is that just connects this terminal to something, that you can see it and read it better. When I try to open that up, it doesn't sync correctly from what I understand. So you see this? Is any of this? What is this? There's no main.mo file that I can click on.
Oh, you need to go into the source directory. So the .dfx folder is it's an idle folder, like it you're not supposed to look into it. All folders that start with a dot are what's called idle folder. So by default, you don't see them. Here you can see it. It's basically a bunch of files that are running the replica. It's where the code for the canister is compiled, but that's not where you're supposed to make changes.
Okay.
You can look into it if you want, like to know what's happening, but you don't need to write into that. You need to write into the source folder, which means basically the source code. So that's where the developer is supposed to do its job.
Okay. So how do I get there? How do I do that?
So in day one, you edit the source folder.
Source folder.
SRC,
Alright.
SRC, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. And then day one.
Day one is the Motoko canister.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
it.
and within the Visual Studio, go to the top right, the three dots, and I don't know how to do it in Mac, except you can get your terminal right below the window there, and I personally like that setup. So I'll full screen it. You've got your file tree on the left. You've got the file you're working on right in front of you, and then on the bottom of the screen, you
So
have your
you
little
can
terminal there.
you can full screen first.
Dude, is that it? No, that's not.
No. Just
Oh, God.
just to full screen, like the VS Code, the green button on the
Here?
top left. No, not this one. Just this one. Yeah. And then you can go on the top, trying to top left. Like just go on top. Yeah. So you see the code, like the bar that is dropping when you go.
Yeah, which one?
Sorry, it's very hard to explain. When you go on the top, there is a bar that drops, where you can access.
Oh, yeah, right here.
Yeah, here. And you have something terminal. You need to go here, open new terminal, and that's it. Your setup.
Oh, cool.
You can do everything from here. You have the files on the left. You have the command to use the FX on the bottom, and you have the code.
Okay,
in the middle.
Yeah. And you can also, if go to at the bottom where the terminal is to see the little plus button, you can have multiple terminals there as well and kind of easily go between them. So yeah, perfect.
Okay.
So see that, like you have your replica running on one and you put it on the other. This is my preferred setup because I'm also still learning, a little bit of a noob. Some coders don't use their mouse at all and just like make things appear and disappear and everything's in their brain. Probably that's how Seth does it, but
No, that's nice. That looks good. Okay, cool. How do I pop this screen back to you guys?
yeah, 1 second, I'll take over.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, we got some questions piling up on the question and answer form. So Albert, and you maybe want to pick one and we can just take a stab at it, maybe.
Yeah, I could do question 4. Let me see. In the GitHub discussions.
Oh, well, I was saying, well, do we have anything queued in the GitHub discussions? I didn't see anything tagged with Q, but I was also talking about the question and answer thing. Yeah, there.
Yeah, question 4. Okay. Sorry, my computer died for a second. But yeah, let me walk you guys through that. So delete this. All right. The question is to implement a counter, right? So I guess I don't know. It's okay if I don't want to give the answer, but we'll just we'll start with the pseudo, or we'll start with starting like a number at 0. So we'll have counter var count.
I think at this point you shouldn't worry too much about giving the answer because I don't see a lot of way to, not giving the answer and trying to explain it.
Okay.
Don't worry too much.
Getting this answer will be a freebie to those who put in the trouble to watch this lecture or this mentorship session. Yeah.
So yeah, we start something with 0, and then we're gonna have a count up. So that's gonna be a sync. And then I don't know if it cares if we return it. Let's see. It says returns the incremental value of counter by n. Okay, so it's more than just counter up by 1. It's actually a, wait, you know, let me do side by side. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna start with a 0, and then you're gonna want to have like an increment amount. So we can just name this like increment amount, and that'll be a net, and then return a natural number. And then let's see, so it's going to be count plus equals the increment amount, right? And then let's see, there's going to be, it says a clear counter. So what that's going to do is set your count, so up here, back to 0, right? So I don't know why this is def, it's fine. Sorry about that. Clear. And then you're just gonna, it's not gonna be anything. And will it return anything? It says, it just sets it to 0, but I'm gonna return a natural number. So then, and then, so all you're gonna do is count 0. If you're having trouble, I'm not sure, like, if you guys just wanted me to walk through it, but lots of times for like when you first start out, this is really tricky, and then lots of errors will occur because you don't put like a semicolon after the brackets. So yeah, let me run this just in case I have like a weird error. So then that'll be BFX upload. It says plus equal expected. Unexpected token phrase.
Maybe you need to make some space between the counts plus equal. Line.
Like this? Oh, that's dumb. My bad. All right. And you gotta return.
Actually, this error was really interesting, I think. The expression of type, you know, error was really nice.
Say that again?
I've said that the error you got because you didn't return the NAT was really interesting to check.
Oh yeah, that's something. I guess like coding in real time. I get that, but yeah. So basically, I don't know if it's like syntax you're having trouble with, or if you're having trouble with like the workflow. So the workflow is sets on to 0, a counter, and then increment is a function you plug in, like a natural number, and then so whatever you plug into here, it's gonna increment that, and then the clear counter, it just sets the count to 0, right? So yeah, and then if we want to run it, we could do dfx canister. Well, I'm using the old canister from the first lecture, but dfx canister call, and then we could do count up, and then let's do like 2, 3. Oh, sorry. And then we could call it again, like 5. And then you want to reset it. Let's just do clear counter. So and that's 0 again. So I don't know if you're trying to get through this challenge. I guess take a screenshot of this. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna. Does
Yeah,
that
so
at all for any of the beginners, or was there some kind of, I don't know, like specific clarification? Oh, well, it says here, the replica returned an HTTP error. Oh, that's an issue deploying with your canister. Let's see. You'd have to share your screen, and we'd have to walk through like deploying a canister for that, John. Let's see what else there is.
we're actually running up pretty close to the end of it right now. So
Okay.
let's go ahead and here, we'll just put, some of the people have their hands raised still.
Okay.
So let's just like answer one or 2 more questions with hand raised, and we'll wrap this up. We'll have another dev mentorship session tomorrow. There's gonna be 2 of these a day. And so somebody mentioned that they that you know, they don't know how beginners would be able to handle this, but I think today was really helpful because everything here is buried in a documentation. Seeing it put together and working a few times in some of the previous sessions and in this session, I think that at least gives people a start. So here we got John. I'm going to allow you to talk real quick. You there, John?
And I'll be around for a little bit longer this evening. So if you have a question and you want to put it, you want to ping me on Discord, Scal's here on Discord. Happy to help out.
Thanks, awesome. All right, John, you're unmuted, but we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. I'm here. The questions around local WSL. I got this error out. Seems that the replica cannot get time out. I can share screen maybe if you.
Are you using Windows WSL 1?
2.
Okay.
I've gotten timeout. Whenever it's that, I had to reset the clock on my Ubuntu from the terminal. You just Google reset your clock. I'll try that. It works for me every time I've gotten a timeout error.
You mean restart my clock?
Yeah, sometimes your system clock and the clock inside of like the WSL get out of sync, and it causes glitches.
Oh, I restarted twice already. It seems the how is that? What the error is here. I can share my screen if you give me how to do that. That's it. This is thread heading out this on error value.
All right, well, I'll let you share your screen. This will be the last one though, and then we'll wrap this session up. Seb, do you have time?
Yeah, I have time.
Okay.
Yeah, someone mentioned that a lot of this basic question an intermediate student can easily answer as well. That's quite true. I think we should. I don't know. What do you think like about those sessions? Because yeah, maybe we should try another format like beginners and intermediate. Okay.
So
I can see your screen. Yeah.
Here's the error, and this is the second terminal. I try to get this error now. Replica cannot start, and there are two root cause lies in here.
Mm.
And I don't know if this run like this one to see this place like backtrace. I don't know how to do this.
Yeah, so someone mentioned try using the fx start / emulator. Yeah. So I've seen this error multiple times. So my first answer is generally to use Windows Subsystem 2 because Windows Subsystem for Linux 1 is broken with the fx. But it seems like you're using, you said you're using the version 2. So then there is the clock setting. Maybe you can try to reset your clock. I don't know, change the time of your computer. And yeah, if that doesn't work, try with the emulator flag. So the fx start emulator.
Okay. I have no problem deploying this one to the network, only on local.
Yeah. It seems like your local replica is broken. You can also search on Google. I think there is a topic on the Definitive forum about that because that's quite a common error. I'm not sure about the potential solutions though, because I've never personally encountered this issue. So
okay, I'll do search. Thank you. I'll do search. I'll come back if you have any question.
Sounds good. But hey, I hope this was useful, everybody. Well, recording. This is the last meeting. Everybody go ahead and get to work or get to sleep, whatever you need to do. And we'll get back started early tomorrow.
thank you, everyone.
Yep, thanks for coming, everyone.